Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're stepping into the workforce right now, you already know the game has totally changed. Today, we're diving into the absolute ultimate CEO playbook for surviving and honestly thriving in this wild AI-disrupted job market. We're going to break down exactly what the world's top executives are saying you need to do to navigate your career path and actually stand out in a hyper-competitive AI-infused marketplace. Let's get right into it. But first, let's just validate what you're probably already feeling. Executives like Anthropic's Dario Amodei and Ford's Jim Farley, they've put out a pretty stark warning. AI and automation are posing a literal existential threat to a ton of traditional entry-level roles. So if you're feeling anxious about your career prospects, well, you're definitely not alone. That anxiety is completely valid. The entry-level buffer zone is shrinking fast, and the old rules just don't apply anymore. Okay, so let's dive into this. To navigate this new landscape, we're walking through 5 definitive mindset shifts to empower your career today. 1. The Gen Z job reality. 2. Ditch the perfect plan. 3. How to stand out. 4. Build AI-proof skills. And 5. Own your trajectory.
Starting with Section 1, the Gen Z job reality, and the end of the guaranteed path.
We've got to acknowledge right out of the gate that entry-level hiring has slowed way down. And the competition, it is intense. The old promise where a college degree was this magical silver bullet for a lifelong stability, yeah, that's pretty much over. And this brings us to a really critical term, NEETs. That stands for young people not in employment, education, or training. Millions are falling into this category, or they're becoming what we call job huggers, basically just clinging to whatever role they have out of pure fear. We're talking about this because the statistical risk of falling behind right now is massive. If you don't actively adapt, you risk stalling out completely. Moving on to Section 2, ditch the perfect plan and the myth of the mapped-out life. In an era defined by rapid change, trying to map out your entire career from day one it's unnecessary pressure. You absolutely do not need to have it all figured out right now. Case in point, just look at this wildly varied list of early jogs from Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon. Long before running one of the world's most powerful companies, the guy experimented. He tried sportscasting, product management, entrepreneurship. He worked at a retail golf store, coached high school soccer, and even tried his hand at investment banking. The big takeaway here, trying a lot of things early on is essential. Experimenting helps you learn what you don't want to do, which is exactly how you figure out what you do want to do. And this experimentation leads us directly to where the real opportunities lie today. On one side, we have the old traditional tech route, getting multiple degrees and trying to be the ultimate tech whiz. But on the other side, we have the skilled trades route. Get this, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, the man leading the company at the absolute center of the AI boom, is giving some pretty unexpected advice. He says to explore skilled trades. Jobs like electricians, plumbers, and carpenters are becoming an incredibly AI-resistant boom sector. Why? Because to power all this tech growth, we are going to need hundreds of thousands of tradespeople to build the new factories. Those segments are practically guaranteed to double year after year. Which brings us to Section 3, how to stand out and the art of extreme ownership. So once you choose a direction, whether that's in a corporate office or on a booming construction site, how do you actually get noticed? Look at this number on the screen, $6.50. That is a very important number. It's exactly what Doug McMillon, the former CEO of Walmart, made per hour when he first started at the company. He didn't parachute into the C-suite, right? He started out unloading trucks in a warehouse for $6.50 an hour, and he climbed literally all the way to the top of the world's largest retailer. So how on earth did he do it? McMillan used this specific promotion blueprint to stand out, and it's brilliant. Step 1, raise your hand for the messy tasks that everyone else snubs their noses at, especially when your boss is out of town. Step 2, use those moments to get FaceTime with senior management. Show them your work ethic firsthand. And step 3, become a low-risk promotion. Because you're volunteering and stepping up, people already see you doing the job before you even have the title. You become the safest, most obvious choice for that next rung up the ladder. It's a total game changer. Section 4. Build AI-proof skills. Mindsets over memorization. Look, to outcompete algorithms today, we have to lean into the deeply human skills that AI just can't replicate. Citi CEO Jane Fraser highlights this massive shift in what is actually valuable right now. In the old world, the expectation was that you just needed to memorize facts and know all the answers. But in the AI world, an algorithm can spit out the answer in milliseconds.
What you actually need now is human intuition, judgment, and deep, genuine curiosity. You are going to have to reinvent yourself at several points in your career, and your human resiliency matters so much more than just knowing facts.
And when you're building those human skills, you've got to be fearless. Check out this phenomenal advice from AMD CEO Lisa Su. She says, run towards the hardest problems, not walk, run. That's where you set yourself apart. Tackling difficult, messy challenges head-on isn't something to avoid. It is the absolute fastest path to career growth. When you choose the hardest problems, you're choosing the greatest chance to learn, grow, and make a tangible difference. To keep that momentum going, we have this crucial insight from Accenture CEO Julie Sweet. She says, simply, transparency builds trust. Sweet admits that early in her legal career, she wasn't particularly tech-savvy at all. But instead of hiding that fact, she used curiosity and asking for help as her superpower. Being a deep learner who isn't afraid to ask questions is a massive leadership advantage. The more you ask, learn, and transparently contribute value, the more likely you are to get that best next job. Finally, Section 5, Own Your Trajectory, the final play. We've talked about market realities and AI-proof skills, but ultimately the responsibility for your success falls entirely on your own shoulders. The ball is in your court. McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski lays it out perfectly. To be a yes person is way better than to be a no person. He notes that there will always be career ups and downs, but if you keep an open mind and show a willingness to just jump in and get your hands dirty, you guarantee that you'll be seen as someone to rely on. It basically ensures you're going to get that next important call. And that leads me to this final provocative thought to wrap up our explainer. Remember this. Nobody cares about your career as much as you do. You have to own it. You have to make things happen for yourself. So what will you say yes to today? Will you run towards a hard problem? Will you raise your hand when your boss is away? The opportunity is still absolutely out there if you have the right mindset. Thanks for hanging out and learning with me today. Now get out there and own your trajectory.